ahurantar.
Yogeshwaranam gatim ahurantar.
Bahishviloka, excuse me. Bahishvilokya bhavanant atmanam.
Bahistrilokya pavanantaratmanam.
Karmavistam gatim apnuvanti.
Karma visvam gatim apnuvanti.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Yogeswaranam gatim ahurantar.
Yogeshwaranam gatim ahurantar.
Bahistrilokya bhavanantar atmanam.
Maheshwalokya pavanantaratmanam.
Karmavistam gatim apnuvanti.
Karma vistam gatim apnuvanti.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Yogeshwaranam gatim ahurantar.
Yogeswaranam gatim ahurantar.
Vayustrilokya pavanantar atmanam.
Bahistrilokya bhavanantar atmanam.
Karma vistam gatim apnuvanti.
Karmavistam gatim apnuvanti.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam. Yogeshwaranam gatim ahurantar.
Yogeswaranam gatim ahurantar.
Bahistrilokya pavanantaratmanam.
Bahistrilokya bhavanantar atmanam.
Nakarma vistam gatim apnuvanti.
Karmavistam gatim apnuvanti.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi bhajam.
Vidyatapo yoga samadhi
bhajam.
Yoga Ishvaranam.
Yoga Ishwaranam.
Of the great saints and devotees.
Of the great saints and devotees.
Gatim.
Gatim.
Destination.
Destination.
Ahu.
Ahu.
It is said.
It is said.
Anta.
Anta.
Within.
Within.
Bahi.
Bahi.
Without.
Without.
Trilokya.
Trilokya.
Of the three planetary systems.
Of the three planetary systems.
Pavana Anta.
Pavana Anta.
Within the air.
Within the air.
Atmanam.
Atmanam.
Of the subtle body.
Of the subtle body.
Na.
Na.
Never.
Never.
Karma be.
Karma be.
By fruit of activities.
By fruit of activity.
From. That. Yatim.
Gatim.
Speed.
Speed.
Apnuvanti.
Apnuvanti.
Achieve.
Achieve.
Vidya.
Vidya.
Devotional service.
Devotional service.
Tapa.
Tapa.
Austerity.
Austerity.
Yoga.
Yoga.
Mystic power.
Mystic power.
Samadhi.
Samadhi.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Bhajam.
Bhajam.
Of those who entertain.
Of those who entertain.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material worlds. The fruitive workers or the gross materialists can never move in such an unrestricted manner. Purport. The materialistic scientists' endeavor to reach other planets by mechanical vehicles is only a futile attempt. One can, however, reach heavenly planets by virtuous activities, but one can never expect to go beyond Svarga or Janaloka by such mechanical or materialistic activities, either gross or subtle. The transcendentalists who have nothing to do with the gross material body can move anywhere within or beyond the material worlds. Within the material worlds, they move in the planetary systems of the Mahar, Janas, Tapas, and Satyaloka. Then beyond the material worlds, they can move in the Vaikunthas as unrestricted spacemen. Narada Muni is one of the examples of such spacemen, and Durvasa Muni is one of such mystics. By the strength of devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, everyone can move like Narada Muni or Durvasa Muni. It is said that Durvasa Muni traveled throughout the entirety of material space and part of spiritual space within 1 year only. The speed of the transcendentalists can never be attained by the gross or subtle materialists. Om Jnanatamananisya Gnanjana Salakaya Chakshamatam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Grotuvachalam Hamunam Vipri Yat Kripataraham Bande Shiguram Dinataranam Manchakapatyubhista Kripasanudeva Champaritanam Bhavne Vivais Shri Vyom Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material world. This is the desire of the devotees, is to get a spiritual body, which is much more conducive for devotional service. These bodies, they're pretty obnoxious actually, these material bodies. And here it's mentioned that by devotional service, by austerity, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, one can attain this. You know, Prabhupada, he wrote this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. That's the first book he wrote in India. And then of course, the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he met one person who had received one of Prabhupada's books, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And the person, after he read it, he saw Prabhupada and said, so when we go to these, to this, you mentioned in the book that we can go to the spiritual world, the highest planet. Prabhupada said, yes. And can we come back here? He said, no, you stay. And he said, no, I'm not interested. Not interested. You could probably get sense that he wanted to go there and then come back and tell all his family members how how it was in the spiritual world. So yeah. So that's the understanding. Prabhupada, or excuse me, Krishna, he says that having gone to the spiritual one never returns again to the material world, this horrible place. Just stay there. Why would anybody want to come back here? It's like, this is the place of birth, of death, old age, and disease. It's not a nice place. And the main way to get there, here it's mentioned a few things: devotional service, austerity, mystic power, transcendental knowledge. But the main thing is devotional service. This is what attracts Krishna. Now, austerities are nice too. Krishna likes that, but there's people that are very austere, but no devotion. So Krishna's not so impressed. But devotional service is also it's an austerity. Just like we're chanting these 16 rounds a day, that's an austerity, and it's devotional service. It's like, these people that go to the gym regularly, and they go there to get physically strong, muscle men. Now women also. But actually, real strength is in spiritual strength. So we're also working out. We do our 16 workouts, or 16 rounds. And we read the books. So, of course, also association. All this helps us to become spiritually strong. This is the goal, to become spiritually strong, to have this change in our life. I met a person yesterday. How can I change? People are a little frustrated with how they've become, and I said, because if you're associated with certain people, then it's going to be hard to change. Association is so important. And we're seeing by this process that we've changed so much, and I've changed a lot. Are you feeling it also? Yeah, feeling some change? Yeah. And the most amazing example of change was here, Narada Muni. Here it's mentioned Narada Muni. Narada Muni is such an amazing person. Actually, there was, what was it, to have that change in Magari? Who was the other devotee?
Gary, the hunter, and then another one who was.
There was a devotee. Actually, I don't think it was Narada. No, it was. I think it was Narada Muni who came upon the hunter, and he was half killing them.
Gary.
Yeah, Mrigari. Yeah, he was half killing them. And Narada Muni thought, who's doing this? It's terrible. Just leaving them in, pain, writhing pain. It's horrible. So finally he came upon this hunter. And he was a little upset because you're scaring the animals away. And Narada Muni said, why are you doing this? Well, this is how I was raised. My father raised me this way. And Narada Muni said, why don't you just kill them all the way? Instead of half killing them or leaving them there, just suffering. And he said, well, this is the way I was trained. Gradually they'll die. But Narada Muni said, but you have no idea about the reaction you're going to get. You're going to get big karma for this. And you're going to be tortured for this activity. And he said, well, I never heard about that. He said, well, is there any way I could avoid this? He said, yeah, you break your bow. Break my bow, but this is this is how I survive. This is my way of survival. He said, no, you do that, and don't worry, you'll be taken care of. And he was somehow he had some simplicity, so he accepted that, and he broke his bow, and he was taken care of, because he became he by the association of Narada Muni, there was such a change that he became saintly, and people were people in the area there, they were like amazed that this person was so degraded, such a horrible person. Now he's become saintly by the association of Narada Muni. And people, whenever you visit a saintly person, you bring things. So he had changed, completely changed. He became a saintly person. So people were bringing things, bringing vegetables and fruits, and it was coming so much that he was surprised. And then at one point, Narada Muni went to visit him. And who was his friend? Parvata Muni. So when Mrigari saw Narada Muni, he started hastily running towards him, but he was kind of running in an awkward way. And when he got to Narada Muni, he paid dandavats, and Narada Muni said, why were you running in that awkward way? He said, I didn't want to step on any ants. Such a change, such a change in consciousness. Just like now we have this problem with the bed bugs, and we called Ramon to come and help us out. And I told him that I had caught one. He said, well, what'd you do with it? I said, well, I threw it down the balcony there. He said, oh, no, you got to kill him. I said, we don't kill. We don't, we're monks. We don't. well, you got to do something else, because then they go into other rooms. So yeah, they're a major problem. Our attendance here and our people living here is decreased because of little bugs. It's amazing. And so many bugs. So this is the material world. So many reversals. You never know what is going to happen. So here, again, by the strength of devotional service, we're able to eventually become free of having these material bodies and get spiritual bodies. It's also by austerity. I was just reading, there's another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Narada Muni. He says, Asantu sasya viprasya tejo vidya tapoyasa. He said, if one is not satisfied in Krishna consciousness, then eventually one's austerity, asanta sasya viprasya tejo, one's spiritual strength, one's not tejo vidya, one's knowledge, tejo vidya tapoyasa, one's austerity and one's reputation gradually diminishes. So to be satisfied in Krishna consciousness is so important, and it's not easy in this present Kali Yuga, because the senses, the mind is so difficult to control. Kala Kalir Balina Indriya Vayarivarga. In the age of Kali, the senses, the mind, excuse me, are very powerful. And in this age, the path of bhakti is spiked by millions of thorny obstacles. But Krishna says, Maschita Sarvadargani Maprasada Tarishasi Atachatam Hunkar Asosasi Vanakshasi. He says, if you just become conscious of me, you'll cross over all the obstacles on your path to pure devotional service. If, however, you don't hear me, then you'll be lost, and you'll have to continue suffering in the material world. So that actually also, that's one of the austerities of the mind. Mana prasadak somyatma, monam atma vinigra, bhava samsira ityeta tapomanas mushite. There's the 5 austerities of the mind. Mana prasadak somyatvam, to be satisfied. That's the first one, to be satisfied in Krishna consciousness. Because the mind is thinking, well, come on, it looks like people are having a good time out there, and I'm doing all these austerities, maybe it's better out there. And some people, some devotees, they succumb to that. So, no, there's no satisfaction. There was that song, can't get no satisfaction. And everybody would sing that. You heard that song before? Even the youth here now, they still heard it. That was 50 years ago, 55 years ago or something.
60 years.
60 years ago. Yeah. Rolling Stones or something. Yeah. Can't get no satisfaction. Yeah, I can't get no satisfaction. To your world, can't get no satisfaction. But in Krishna consciousness, we can be satisfied. Here people that are doing all kinds of nonsense, drinking and smoking, and so much loose association. But here we are, we're chanting Hare Krishna, taking Krishna Prasada, distributing books, and we're satisfied. But we had to be careful, because the main reason that people give up Krishna consciousness, or they find themselves not satisfied, is because of offenses. So we have to be very careful, though. Therefore, we have these we have these 10 offenses to chanting the holy name. One senior devotee said there should be an 11th offense, and that is checking your cell phone before you finish your rounds. That's a big distraction. I mean, I've seen it, devotees, they wake up, as soon as they wake up, they check their phone. But it's a big distraction. And then already you're starting to think of things that are not so important. What is most important is that we think of Krishna. So that's what we should think of right from the start of our day. And we shouldn't, ideally, we shouldn't be thinking of anything else until those rounds are finished. Because this is the key to the spiritual world. This chanting of the holy name. And this is another austerity, to do this austerity for 2 hours. If you don't have a taste for the holy name, how could one continue? 2 hours of the day, that's, we have, what do we have, about 17 or 18 hours of the day, the waking hours, and we sleep. But 2 hours, that's a big chunk every day. So if you don't have a taste, then it's very difficult. So we have to be careful about these offenses and pray to Krishna for a taste for the holy name, a taste for this knowledge. I was just listening to a lecture. Prabhupada said that you must have a taste for Krishna consciousness because you keep on hearing the same thing, the same philosophy over and over again. Like how many times, even you've been practicing for a short time, how many times do you think you've heard, "We're not the body"? Probably thousands of times, right? So we keep on hearing it, and hopefully one day it'll sink in. And we'll realize, I'm not the body. I'm the soul. Yeah. I was this one student that was at this arts and wine festival yesterday. One student said that, was a little frustrated that become so contaminated that the person wanted to improve. That you have to get association. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, most important thing. And this is probably, next to Prabhupada's given us all these books, as he's given us association. By this knowledge, now we have association of devotees all over the world. It's like we had this Sadhu Sangha, 4,000 devotees. It was so nice. Actually, it was nice. Some places they could improve, but it was very nice just to experience so many devotees chanting. Now we have how many devotees in the world now? I think that I heard we have about 1,200 temples around the world. Just in India, they have 350. Nice temples. So yeah, this is the contribution of Srila Prabhupada, that he's given this knowledge, and the result of all the knowledge is that so many people have come and joined the society. And we're learning so much about Krishna. Yeah. It's like this verse starts out with Yogeshvarana. And in the Bhagavad Gita, it's stated, Yatra Yogeshvara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurjara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Dhirvani Tiravatir. That wherever there is Krishna, the master of mystics, there's a lot of mystic people, mystic yogis. Krishna is the master of mystics. And wherever there is Arjuna, Partha, then there'll certainly be Tatrashi, there'll be opulence. Tatrashi Vijayo, there'll be victory. There'll be extraordinary strength and morality. Krishna is the most moral, although sometimes people can I can't grasp that. But one of actually the most mystical thing was Krishna in the rasa dance. There were so many gopis, and he was dancing with all of them. And they were all thinking that Krishna's only with me. Thousands.
Millions.
Millions.
Billions.
Billions.
Who knows?
Who knows how many? So Krishna expands himself. Another very nice mystic ability of Krishna was when Brahma, when he heard that this boy Krishna, he's the Supreme Lord, he thought, well, let me give him a little test, and he stole all of Krishna's friends and the calves, and Krishna, with his mystic ability, he understood that Brahma's he wants to test me, so he expanded himself exactly all the cowherd boys and the calves. Because he's in the hearts of everyone, so he knows every little detail of each character. Everything, just everything. But now he's Krishna. So he thought, well, if he was thinking that if I go back to Vrindavan and the cowherd boys aren't here, the mother's going to be upset. So therefore he expanded himself. And now when the mothers saw their boys, it was a little different now because they felt like they were with Krishna. And there's that special feeling when you're with Krishna. And they had that special feeling. And they all wanted to be the mother of Krishna because Krishna is wonderful. Wonderful. There's even a chapter, Wonderful Krishna. So they all wanted to be the mother of Krishna. So much affection was there for Krishna. So many things were accomplished by that pastime. So there were, at one point, the cowherd men they had their cows and the boys with the calves, and the cows were attracted so much to the calves. They were running down to the calves. Now this is a time when they weren't drinking the milk, but now they were old enough, they were eating the grass. But there was so much affection that they went and they were cuddling, the calves, and the cows were drinking the milk. And Balaram was there and said, something's a little unusual. Of course, Balaram knows everything also. So then Krishna revealed that actually there are expansions, and then Krishna, he manifested his four-armed forms. Brahma came down. He came down just a short time because he knew he could be playing with fire, could be dangerous, so he came down. And they were all there, and then they all manifest four-armed forms. So this is some of Krishna's mystic ability. I was in the airport one time, and I approached one person that this is in Los Angeles airport, and he asked, so what group are you in? I said, we're Hare Krishnas. He said, oh yeah, you're the people that believe that God's a little blue boy. So I said, yeah, but he's much more than that. They can't imagine the activities of God. In other religion, there is no activity. Nothing.
Creation.
Yeah, even that is vague. How did you do it? I don't have a clue. Creation, yeah, I have a clue. Very little information of God. But here, we get the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear all the amazing pastimes of Krishna. It's like Indra, he was he was offended because the cowherd men, they stopped offering sacrifices to him because of Krishna. So he became offended. And he sent the Vartika clouds. These are the clouds of devastation. And it's described that they were like pillars coming down. So basically, Indra, he wanted to kill all the residents of Vrindavan. Pretty offensive. That's like the most offensive thing. And I think in the Nectar Devotion it said that Krishna was thinking, well, maybe I'll just kill him. But then he thought, no, I'll just chastise him. It's Krishna. I'll just kill the rascal. But he's the king of heaven. So then it's not easy to be a king of heaven. So then I won't have a king of heaven. So anyway, no, I'll just chastise him. So he chastised. So what did Krishna do? He lifted a hill as an umbrella for all the residents of Vrindavan. How heavy was it? Tons and tons. Now the world record for just straight up, 588 pounds. But the record for lifting, I think they call it the back lift. They put the little weight on your back and just stand up, 5,000 something. Yeah, over a ton. Oh no, that's over 2.5 tons. Yeah, you just stand up, but there you go. Yeah, put it on your back. Boy, they get a pretty strong back to do that. But that's nothing. Actually, Krishna, he has the world record. No one weighed the Govardhan Hill, but I'm sure it was over 5,000 pounds. So Krishna is, very powerful. Very powerful. And by taking shelter of Krishna, we also become strong, spiritually strong. We just have to keep on doing all these transcendental calisthenics. Otherwise, we have to stay in this forest of material existence. There's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Asantasya Viprasya Tejo Vidya BYS. Oh no, that's a different one. Anyway, this verse says that a person may be in a dark forest and it's late, so it's dark and there's wild animals and it's cold. But as soon as he approaches a sacrificial fire, immediately the darkness is taken away, the fear, the coldness is taken away. Similarly, this material world, it's a forest of material suffering. But as soon as one engages in the service of Krishna and his devotee, then immediately the darkness, the cold, the fear is all wiped away. I was just listening to a lecture this morning. Prabhupada said that by practicing Krishna consciousness, we become warm-hearted. We become warm. But when we give up, then again, we become cold-hearted. So Prabhupada was such warm-hearted. There was one song I remember, looking for a heart of gold. I don't know, the Cat Stevens. Looking for a heart of gold. So Prabhupada was that he had a heart of gold. He could have stayed in India, and it was actually predicted that he would become one of the wealthiest people in India. And he was actually doing quite well with the pharmaceutical business. But he had met his spiritual master, so that kept on kind of coming back to him. That I think it would be good if you preached this message. Kept on coming back to him. Kept on coming back. And eventually he just lost interest in his business. And Krishna took everything away. And then he just focused first on the back to Godhead. He started that. And then he started the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, it was by someone. There was somebody that suggested, magazines. People just throw them away. You should write books. He appreciated Prabhupada's writing, like we all appreciate. Prabhupada's such a good writer. You should write books. People keep books. And Prabhupada took that. Oh, yeah. So that's when he started the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. And that's what when he came to America, he came with the 600 volumes, 200 sets. Prabhupada brought the sets at the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then he just continued. So this is this is the mercy of Krishna. This is helping us out of this forest. There's actually a chapter, the forest of material enjoyment. The forest of material enjoyment. And it's a dangerous forest. You try to enjoy this material world, and you get just the opposite. Flooded-tapikari misra. Flooded-tapikari misra means that whatever we try to enjoy in this world, that very thing we're trying to enjoy will be the cause of suffering.
What's the phrase?
Flooded-tapikari misra. Yeah. Whatever we try to be mixed. Misra, mixed. Yeah, so some so-called pleasure. It's not really pleasure even, just material flickering. So there'll be pleasure and there'll be pain. Yeah. And therefore we see so much divorce. We see so much frustration. People have their job and it's all right in the beginning, or they really love it, but then eventually, oh God, this is terrible. Yeah. I think the surveys, like 80% of the people that work, they don't like their job. I'm sure it's more than that, actually. Imagine doing something, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, you don't like it.
50 years.
Or 50 years, yeah. There was one friend of mine, he was working in Singapore. And there's some places in the world where they just work you, and there's no, like here, you can't just work your employees, to death, and there's some restriction. Right? If they want, they can, but they don't have to. But in some countries, they just work you. And if you don't, they'll just fire you. So this one devotee, he said to the manager, said, is it possible, can I work less because I have my life? And he replied, there's over 500 people waiting in line to have your job. You decide. In other words, you're forced. They're working 12, 14 hours a day. Yeah. The material world. It's a dark place. So there's a few words on this verse. Any question, comment, or reflection? Yeah.
We were reading the Acharya's comment that Brahma didn't have the power to steal the cowherd boys or put them in mystic slumber because they're personal associates of Krishna. So Krishna arranged for illusory cowherd boys to be taken by Brahma and Krishna put his cowherd boys in that mystic into slumber, so they weren't aware of what was happening. And then Krishna assumed.
That's in a commentary?
That's from one of the commentaries of the Acharya.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't just take Krishna's personal friends away.
Just like Robin couldn't take the real Sita.
Right.
So it's
The
not
false Sita. So he took false
cowherd boys.
cowherd boys. Yeah. Can't mess with Krishna. Yeah. Amazing pastimes. It's like I was reading recently about this amazing pastime of Jayadev Goswami. He was, he's the famous writer. And the thought came to mind that Krishna, he becomes the humble servant of Srimati Radharani. And it just didn't seem right. It says he's the Supreme Personality of God. How does Krishna become the humble servant? All right, I mean she's Radharani, but how does he become the humble servant? So he thought, well, let me think about it. So he told his wife, I'm going to go bathe and I'll come back and take prasad. So he went. Then when he came back, his wife was honoring prasad. And the culture is that the wife, she waits until the husband has honored prasad. So he was surprised. He said, Devi, you're honoring prasad. I'm surprised. You usually wait until I take. She said, but you did. You went, you bathed, you came back. You said you're going to write something, and then you're going to take prasad, and you came back, you took prasad, then you stepped out, and now you're saying you didn't take prasad. No, I didn't. I didn't eat. You said I went in and wrote something. So he went into his room, and in golden letters it's written, Krishna becomes the humble servant of Srimad Radharani. So he went. Then he understood it was Krishna. So he went and he told his wife, that wasn't me that went in there and wrote and came in there and took prasad. That was Krishna, disguised as me. And you're eating his remnants right now. Is there any left? So that's Krishna. He's the good disguises. Also, he has very good disguises. Just like that amazing pastime also of Krishna. And he told the gopis, I'm going to play a joke on Chatila. Chatila is the mother of Abhimanyu. So he disguised himself as Abhimanyu. He said, Mata, Krishna's coming, disguised as me, to play a joke on you. I just want to let you know. So then Abhimanyu came, and she had her broom, and she started beating Abhimanyu. She said, I know you're Krishna, you're just trying to play tricks on me. He said, no, it's me, it's Abhimanyu, I'm not Krishna. And Krishna's in the back, he's got his hat, his crown with his peacock feather. And the gopis are having a good laugh. Krishna is known as Kautuki. He's got the best sense of humor. So we go back, we're going to find ourselves laughing a lot. Kautukarnava means he who makes amazing, what is it? Source of all transcendental pastimes. Source of all transcendental enjoyment. Yeah, like that. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu's. Bhakti. How you turn this off, Tara?
I got it. I'll just show you.